I invite President Ilham Aliyev, who is joining us via video connection, to deliver his speech. Please, Mr. President.
Thank you. Good morning and greetings from Baku. First of all, I'd like to express gratitude to President Costa for the invitation to address the 8th EPC Summit. During President Costa's visit to Azerbaijan less than 2 months ago, we discussed my participation at the summit and agreed that I will join in the video format. I'd like also to inform the audience that during my meeting with President Costa and President von der Leyen in Tirana a year ago, they asked my opinion about the idea to organize May 2026 summit in Armenia. I supported that, and in my turn asked, in order to preserve the balanced approach, to hold one of the next summits in Azerbaijan. Proposal was accepted, so I invite the members of EPC to Azerbaijan in May 2028. And by the way, Armenia also supported our candidacy. This is a clear indication that peace between Azerbaijan and Armenia is a reality. We live in peace for only 9 months, and we are learning to live in peace. Last August in Washington, in the White House, leaders of Armenia and Azerbaijan signed a joint declaration. President Trump, as it was already mentioned, signed it also as a witness. Foreign ministers of Armenia and Azerbaijan initialed the text of the peace agreement. For us, and I'm sure for our Armenian partners, the peace is done. After de facto peace was achieved, Azerbaijan unilaterally lifted all transit restrictions to Armenia imposed in the beginning of the 90s. Up to now, 28,000 tons of cargo to Armenia was delivered through the territory of Azerbaijan. Azerbaijan went even further. We started to supply our oil products, gasoline and diesel, for the first time to Armenia, thus starting their trade relations. So far, 12,000 tons of our oil products have been exported to Armenia. Another achievement of peace is connectivity. Trump Route for International Peace and Prosperity will connect Azerbaijan with its exclave, Nakhchivan. Along with that, this route will be part of the Middle Corridor. Both Armenia and Azerbaijan already see the practical benefits of peace. Using this opportunity, I'd like to express gratitude to the European Commission for its position on Armenia-Azerbaijan peace process. But unfortunately, not all the European institutions demonstrate the same approach. One of them is European Parliament, another Parliament Assembly of the Council of Europe. Azerbaijan is a member of the Council of Europe since January 2001. By the way, I, then head of Azerbaijani delegation, as a member of parliament, was one of the active members of PASE. Our delegation was never under any restrictions in the Council of Europe until January 2024. On September 2023, Azerbaijan put an end to separatism in Karabakh. We ourselves implemented 4 UN Security Council resolutions adopted in 1993 and remained on paper for 30 years. 4 months after that, PASE imposed sanctions on our delegation. Unfortunately, double standards is today a kind of a modus operandi for PASE. Azerbaijan's territorial integrity has the same value that of any other country, and in this issue, double standards are unacceptable. Now about European Parliament. This gathering, instead of supporting the peace process, prefers to sabotage it. Since May 2021, 6 months after the end of the Second Karabakh War, until 30th April 2026, European Parliament adopted 14 resolutions full of insults, lies about Azerbaijan. Just imagine, 14 resolutions in 5 years, kind of an obsession. The last one only 4 days ago, deliberately right prior to the summit. Instead of addressing fundamental problems of some member states, such as xenophobia, Islamophobia, anti-Semitism, migration, competitiveness, problems of the homeless people, European Parliament targets Azerbaijan, spreading slander and lie. And the reason is that Azerbaijan restored its territorial integrity and sovereignty, put an end to separatism, and brought war criminals to justice. In response, Parliament of Azerbaijan on May 1st decided officially to suspend cooperation with the European Parliament in all areas, cease participation in the activities of the EU-Azerbaijan Parliamentary Cooperation Committee, and initiate the procedures for termination of membership in the Euronest Parliamentary Assembly. Taking into account that during EPC summits we openly exchange our views and our concerns, I just wanted to inform our colleagues with what is happening in this respect so that there'll be no misinformation and manipulation with the followed decision. In conclusion, I'd like to congratulate Prime Minister Pashinyan with EPC summit in Armenia and say that despite all the efforts of those who want to hinder the process, Azerbaijan is committed to peace agenda, and the remarks of my Armenian colleague clearly demonstrate that. I wish the summit success. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President.